Podcast City Network.
Listener discretion is advised.
It is time. You're listening to The Everett Lee Show. Let's go! A shot of entertainment to the head.
No doubt.
Sit back, relax, put your drinks up, and enjoy the entertainment.
Okay.
Now we come to the payoff.
Let's rock.
Silence. The intro is over. Welcome, everyone, to the Everett Lee Show, Slammin' Thursday edition of the Everett Lee Show. The Everett Lee is right here, and he's back after being sick from throwing up. It sounded like Gary Busey and shitting my pants. I'm good and well. Joining me, as always, for the Slammin' Thursday edition here of the Everett Lee Show is none other than my co-host, Mr. The Chris Rose. How's it going, Chris?
Going all right, man. Going all right. I'm having a pretty good night. Been tired all day, but I'm rested and I'm ready for tonight. I'm ready for it. How are you, man?
I'm better, man. I'm better. I'm not sick as a dog like I was, man. I'll tell you, God. Anyone listening and viewing in tonight, don't get sick. Do not get sick. It's not fun. It is not fun. You wish for death. You wish the angel of death. You sit there and you listen to Slayer come rolling in with the angel of death because basically you just want to die. That's it. You want raining blood and just die because being sick sucks. It sucks, man. It really does. Yeah, it does. And I know last week we were supposed to debut back after having Thanksgiving week off, and that didn't happen because I got sick. But we're back tonight, man. We are back tonight because I know last week we would have been talking about what happened with Survivor Series and everything we talked about the week before Survivor Series and everything and stuff. Real quick, let me just ask you, were you satisfied with War Games and Survivor Series?
Man, from what I remember of both shows, I did. I liked both of them. I liked the Dakota Kai's heel turn.
Yeah.
At War Games, that was out of left field. That was a highlight that popped out to me.
Oh God, yeah.
Kevin Owens being the guy for the Tommaso Ciampa's team.
Yes.
Man, it was just a pretty good show. War Games was, and Survivor Series, it really showcased the NXT guys really well. I thought that pay-per-view was one of the best ones they did all year.
Yeah.
Besides the main, I believe the main event should have been the guys elimination match. That really was one of my favorite matches. Keith Lee really got spotlight there against Roman Reigns at the end. And eliminating Seth Rollins. I mean, it was really good. I liked how they did all of that. One guy I really hated to see eliminated was Walter from NXT UK. He really had the biggest reception out of anybody in the match, which was surprising to me, but the guy is a tremendous talent, tremendous wrestler. I love watching Walter on there. He has something about him. And he doesn't look like your normal prototype of a wrestler either. And I think that's what people like about him, too.
Yeah.
And he's just a massive, strong guy. And, yeah, I thought that, he could have done more in the match. But at least he got eliminated by Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
But, overall, that was my match of the show, the elimination match. I thought it was really, really good. Rey Mysterio and Dominic, their little moment they had with Lesnar, I thought that was really well done.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. And a lot of people wasn't happy about it, but I mean, there's, Rey Mysterio couldn't beat Lesnar, I mean, that's just how it is. And I thought for what it was really good. I thought they did really good, but I didn't like the main event, though. I mean, what did you think of it?
The main event, I think a lot of people, I kind of enjoyed the main event. I mean, it was neat seeing, the man and seeing, Becky Lynch just doing what she does. But then also when it came down to it, it's just the crowd wasn't into it. The crowd was not into it because they weren't happy with Shayna Baszler. They weren't happy with the main event. And I like the women's match, but it should have been put towards the middle. But if you really look at it, Chris, the whole invasion angle was built around the women. And we knew Bayley was going to get the pinfall. She was going to get the pinfall because you can't let Shayna look weak. You can't let the man look weak. So there was only one person to take it a pinfall, and that was Bayley. But I agree with you. They should have moved the men's elimination match at the end. That should have been the main event right there. But the whole invasion thing, they based it and put it on the women of NXT and SmackDown and Raw. All in all, I thought it was great. I was glad to see NXT come in and whip ass because that's basically what they built it to. NXT coming in and whipping ass. And they did that. War Games, fantastic. I loved the Dakota Kai heel turn. I loved how that went down. I loved how they set up that card right there because you had your War Games women match opening it and you got the men's closing it. And when they didn't pull out tables during the women's match, War Games match at the beginning, I knew it was like the guys got to have something, so the tables are going to come and play. And I loved everything in between. I loved the match with Matt Riddle and Finn Balor. I thought it was fantastic. And just like filler matches because your whole purpose of the NXT War Games was the War Games itself. It started it, ended great. Kevin Owens coming in, that was fantastic because it's like Johnny Gargano is going to come. No, it wasn't Johnny. It was KO. I loved it. I definitely loved it.
Or Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
NXT stars are out right now due to injury, and I thought it was going to be one of those two. They didn't expect it to be Kevin Owens. I thought it was a really good little shine on the show as well, having a guy who was awesome in NXT. Because when I first started watching, I didn't watch it in 2013 or 14, but in 2015 when I came back to watch it, WWE again, I saw ones on NXT, and it was insane. I mean, I recognized him from Ring of Honor, of course, but I mean, I liked him in NXT, and him coming back was really cool.
Yeah,
I really liked that.
Yeah, that was cool. That definitely was cool.
Back to the Survivor Series women's main event, it was kind of hard for them to be in that position because of the match before it. I mean, the crowd was wore out by the elimination matches, and because they're so long to do, and it was such a good match, they was just not into the women's match, and it should have been. Early on the card. I believe the elimination matches is what made Survivor Series what it was, and I think that should be the last match.
Exactly.
Or the Rey Mysterio, because of the championship match, Rey Mysterio or Brock. But I believe the men's elimination match, just the way WWE had it all laid out and how the execution was, that would have been an awesome. I get it. They're trying to get Shayna Baszler to that next level as well, because she is a really good talent. With the rumors of Ronda Rousey sparking an interest again in WWE, it could be a future match of that caliber down the road. So we got to get Shayna Baszler shined up and ready to go for that potential dream match in the making. We'll see what happens down the road.
Yeah, that right there, I definitely do agree though. But I feel that with Royal Rumble coming up next month there, I feel that Ronda Rousey is going to make an appearance. She is going to come back. She's going to go after the man, and she's going to get that title. That's basically what the whole thing is. That's what.
Yeah. She'll go after Becky Lynch, but I really would want to see a Baszler and Rousey match too down the road.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would.
I think she's definitely going back for Becky Lynch. Get revenge out from WrestleMania. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure, man. Yeah. All in all, man, everything was great. I loved it, and I loved that night and that weekend. It was great. It was great. And talking about what I loved tonight, I love being back on the air and talking with you, what I love doing each and every week here on the Everett Lee Show, and that's talk wrestling. And right now, if you're listening and actually viewing right now, because right now I'm viewing or actually streaming, Chris, we're streaming on 2 platforms right now. I'm streaming on my twitch.tv/The Everett Lee Show, and I am right now streaming on my Facebook page, facebook.com/The Everett Lee. I'm streaming on 2 platforms. So right now, people viewing right now in the chat and on Facebook and on Twitch, I'm on 2 different platforms, so you could pick a platform. I got Twitch pulled up. Not much activity. Facebook's pulled up, and we got a lot of views coming in right now. Chris Sterling. Hey, Chris. Tell them how great I am, brother. Tell me how great Chris Sterling is, Chris Rose. How great is he?
Oh, well, let's just start with the KZW United States Champion. Tremendous wrestler. And my tag team partner, we are the Chris Coalition. And let's just say something right now. It doesn't matter who Chris Sterling goes up against this weekend in the Fatal 4-Way match at the KZW show tomorrow, Saturday at 7:30 in Shopville. Sterling's going to kick ass and retain his United States champion because he is the man right now in KZW. He's the best champion they got. Cousin Frank has nothing on Chris Sterling, even though Cousin Frank is the KZW heavyweight champion, which is a joke, to be quite honest. He is a joke compared to classic Chris Sterling. He's a throwback. He's an athlete. He is a tremendous wrestler and champion, and I'm proud to call him my tag team partner. Sterling, I love you. I'll see you Saturday, buddy.
Hell yeah. Nicholas Vick, good evening. Good evening to you. And this is going to be a good evening because let's see if we can fire up the chat here tonight on the Slammin Thursday edition of the Everett Lee Show. Brought to you by Podcast City Network, the official host of the Everett Lee Show. Check out podcast over on podcastcity.net. Check them out on Facebook, Podcast City Network. Hit them up on Twitter at Podcast City Net and subscribe And follow Podcast City Network for video, audio podcast over on YouTube channel, Podcast City Network, and on Twitch, Podcast City Network. And let's get into it, man. Let's just get into this, man, because I just kick it back tonight, and I'm just having
drinking a little bit of the bubbly,
because it feels like that night, and my voice wants to go out like Nick Nolte. Like I just smoked a whole carton, Chris. What do you think? Do I have 48 hours?
Glad you're not sick enough to drink up some bubbly.
Yeah.
That's what sucks when I get sick. I can't drink any bubbly.
I know. It does.
Sucks.
It does. Chris Sterling, he says, hell, I might pop up on TN on Friday. So that's awesome to hear.
Well, I did not know that. And Sterling, I hope to see you there tomorrow night in old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Hopefully to see my tag team partner as well. I hope Sterling comes on down. The show would benefit from it.
Yes.
Rocky Top, Tennessee would, love to have Chris Sterling there. And Chris Sterling would make that town a whole lot better, as I would as well.
I love it. Let's
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
And let's talk about some Monday Night Raw. Real quick, I want to ask you your thoughts on this past Monday Night Raw.
It's just shit. It's like always. But,
you mean it's like this, Chris?
Not anything good. I mean, of course, they kicked it off with the Rusev and Lana, BS.
Oh, God.
I don't think Rusev has to come out there like a joke wearing a Donald Duck shirt. I don't know. That was just really weird. I mean, this whole thing's weird. No, they were supposed to have a match on the Starrcade stream on WWE Network, and they didn't do it. And I get it; they're trying to get these two guys to that next level, but man, I'm ready to see this angle end.
Yeah,
I'm ready to see it end, but I am kind of, I'm excited that they're finally having a match, and hopefully this is the blow off from all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was a terrible segment. Lana sounds so scripted; it's not even funny.
Yeah. Cringe.
It's so bad.
Cringe.
It's bad.
It is.
It's bad shit. It's not good shit, pal. It's real bad shit. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, not a good way to open Raw. The segment was entirely too long too. Just nobody's into this at all, and they're trying to sell it with Jerry Lawler doing it. Even the great Jerry Lawler can't make this shit smell good.
Yeah.
Man, I just didn't like it. Didn't like it at all.
I just the Lana segment right there, dude. I'm telling you, it's killing me. It's killing me, man. With the Lana segment, it's just freaking just kills me. The Lana Rusev thing. This is so horribly done wrong. It's like when I hear Lana out there just talking and talking and talking, it's just like it's like, come on, Lana. It's just, yeah, she does. She sounds so scripted. I agree with you. She sounds really, really scripted. She does. And it kills me. It definitely does kill me that she has to sound like that. When you agree?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's awful. Yeah, like
is.
I was saying, like all of her promos sound like that. It just sound really, really bad and scripted, and I can just tell by it how she acts and how it comes out of her mouth.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
insane.
It is.
A lot of stuff wrong with it. The crowd loves the Rusev, and I think Rusev needs to be in something different. Bobby Lashley needs to be in something different.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not. But finally, we get to see these two actually have a match Sunday, and I actually can't wait to see how that goes. But hopefully, this is the end of the feud, and hopefully, this is the blow off, and we can get on to bigger and better things after this with these two guys. Hopefully.
Exactly. Bigger and better things. It would be so much better that we move on and get into some better programming with both these guys, because it's crazy. I like how CM Punk put it on backstage, WWE backstage. It's like these two should get rid of Lana and get together and just go after and have another tag team come after Rusev and Lashley. You imagine Rusev and Lashley as a tag team? You imagine that?
Yeah, it would be dominant. And I didn't get to watch Punk on backstage this week either. But I do see where he's coming at that. The guys turn on Lana, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Is that what he was saying? Turn on Lana and become a tag team. Yeah, that would be something else to see.
It would.
I think, though, with all due respect to Punk's opinion, I think those two guys should be singles, but a tag team would be fun too.
It would. What do you do when you don't really have nothing for someone in singles competition? Put them with someone else who you have nothing to do with, and there you go. You got a tag team. Look what they did with Ziggler and Bobby Roode. Look at that there.
Yeah, they did it with. They tried it with Ziggler and McIntyre, and then Roode and Ziggler, and one successful one as of late was the Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus.
Yes.
Cesaro and Sheamus had some matches, and then all of a sudden there's a tag team. At first I was like, I wish Cesaro would be a singles guy, but I ended up loving that tag team.
Yeah.
And I thought they did really good. Their styles went great together.
Yes, it did. It definitely did. Their styles did go together really well. With Sheamus, with his style, and with Cesaro's style, it went well. And speaking of tag team, we finally got some answers Monday night from AOP. Are they working with Seth Rollins? And yes, they are. Because Kevin Owens was stark raving mad. He wanted answers. He took out Mojo Riley, which I thought was great. He gave him a stunner, went backstage, found the van, busted it down with that bat, went to go in the reach in the back because someone was just sitting in the van. AOP shows up, whips Seth Rollins' Kevin Owens' ass, and it was Seth Rollins. It's like he's working with him. You get the Shield 3.0 or 2.0, would you call it, Chris?
I saw a meme, and it said it looked like JJ Security are the Monstars now from Space Jam.
Damn, that's great. I gotta look that up sometime.
That made me laugh so hard earlier. But I do, all jokes aside, I do like this heel Seth Rollins with the AOP. I mean, obviously, AOP needs something different than what they did in NXT as the tag team. So now they're going to come out wearing the suits and everything, and hopefully when they're in the ring, they have different ring gear as well. I hope they have something different besides the Roman Reigns vests and stuff like that. Hopefully AOP has different gear and everything. But, yeah, I kind of like this heel Rollins with the two big guys. It makes them look like a chicken shit.
Yeah.
You got the heel with the two big guys to protect you. It's awesome. Hopefully they do something with it, but they got a good babyface and Owens to, counter that. So hopefully this story leads somewhere because Owens and Rollins both have good matches together.
Yes.
I really enjoy what they do in the ring. And I'm glad that Seth, me and you talked about it before a lot, that Seth is a much better heel. Now he's doing it again, and I'm glad they're finally, listening to the fans like they was going to say they was going to do. Everybody got in the ring, the whole McMahon family, and they said, your opinion matters. And here lately, I think they have been very hypocritical of that.
They have.
But, that they have, but Rollins with the AOP, I like it. It's heat. It's really good heat. So Rollins will take these two young, big guys to the next level as well by association. And I can't wait for it, man. I can't wait for the pay-per-view this weekend to see what these guys do. And yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It is. It's gonna be fun. That was basically the highlight of Raw for me right there. After everything else, after they finally confirmed that Rollins and AOP are working together, everything else after that, I didn't really care too much for. I didn't. I mean, I know Rey Mysterio wrestled AJ Styles with a U.S. title rematch there. I'm trying to remember what happened because that closed the show, and Raw went off abruptly. I mean, it goes off right at 11 o'clock, so something happened right there where it went off right at 11, and that was pretty much it. But I'm trying to remember if he retained the title or AJ got it back, but I think Ray got it retained it, if I can remember that.
Yeah, it was a pretty good back and forth match. Mysterio did retain.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Orton came in, and it was just, kind of chaos at the end.
Right.
But these guys could have had a better match. I kind of was falling asleep during it, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Very. I wish that they would have had these guys just go at it one-on-one, no interference. But there was some interference.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, Raw this week was just not good, to be quite honest. Eric Rowan was in there with local guys again, and Becky Lynch went against the Spooky Warriors in a handicap match. It was just not fun.
Right.
Not a fun Raw, not a good Raw at all.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
It wasn't good, man. I had a hard time watching it here lately, but hopefully in the future it gets a little better than what it is right now.
Yeah, definitely. I hope it does. I hope they progress some more story and get it to go somewhere where it needs to go and not just keep it where it has to be. But besides that, man, I mean, we had Wednesday night, we had NXT and AEW to look forward to. Both shows, man, they've been pulling everything out and trying to get you to stay tuned in and watch what each brand does. And it's been great. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed both brands. There at the beginning, I was enjoying AEW a lot more because they were building up to their pay-per-view Full Gear, which I thought was great. And then now they're going in different directions with the story and characters, and I've enjoyed it in the last couple weeks. I've enjoyed what I've seen, and I have enjoyed where they're starting to go with NXT now after the War Games fallout. After that, right there, they're going in a direction there. And what do you want to start off with here, AEW or NXT?
I guess we'll do AEW first.
Okay. AEW, one of the points of the match or of the show talk about Cody and QT Marshall versus the Butcher and the Blade with the Bunny, a new faction. I want to get your take on this right here.
I actually like this faction kind of better than the Dark Order.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's makes sense to compare them to. But with the association of the Bunny, I like how they reinvented Allie as a heel valet, or
Yes.
manager, or whatever you want to call it. I like that a lot. And as far as this tag team match goes, I mean, it was a pretty good match. I mean, it was a good match for both teams. I didn't know who the hell QT Marshall was. Do you know who that is?
I don't know. I can pull him up there. I'll Google him and pull him up while you continue with the match there. What you liked about it?
I never heard of him. That was just out of nowhere. But I mean, he didn't do bad in the match. I thought him and Cody did really well together. Cody, though, is the most over guy in the company.
Yes.
People really love Cody. The hot tag when Cody came in and fired up on everybody was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I really, really loved it. I mean, high grade match. And the Darby Allin came out to help Cody.
Yeah.
His tag team partner in the near future against these two guys. Because I don't know what QT Marshall is doing there. I don't know what his role is in AEW right now, but I mean, it was a good showing for the new tag team.
Oh yeah.
The Butcher Blade. I thought it was a good showing. I'll hope to see what these guys do in the near future in AEW. It was a pretty good match.
It was. I like the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny. I love that. I loved how they did that. Allie kind of reminds you of when she was in Impact, when she was with Rosemary and how she went dark. This is another incarnation and another reinventing herself into another new character. And I do like her being as the valet. She got involved in the match, which I thought was going to happen, and it happened. And I loved it. I love these two guys, how they moved in the ring, and they worked really good together. You noticed that? They worked really good together.
Yes, I did. It was really, really good.
Mm-hmm. They did. They worked really good together. I was impressive. Cody and QT Marshall, I said to myself, who is QT Marshall? I pulled him up here online here. I got a little bit on QT Marshall. He is he's known as Michael Culera. He is better known as QT Marshall. He's best known for working in ROH, Ring of Honor, and he, as the current owner of One Fall Power Factory. There's currently a documentary about his tryout for the WWE named The Wrestler AQT Marshall Story. The documentary has won Best Documentary at the 2017 San Diego Comic-Con Film Festival. And this is off of Wikipedia. So he worked in Ring of Honor from 2012, 2016, and then from 2017 to 2018. He went up against, I guess, the Kingdom, Matt Taven, and his guys there. He went up against him in a four-corner survival match at Boiling Point. He was often paired with R.D. Evans and his manager or tag team partner as a comedy duo known as Martial Law. Does that ring any bells there for you?
No.
No.
No, thank you for explaining who he is, though. I mean, you gave a really big description about QT Marshall.
That's good.
But,
that's what I do.
I know now that you're Everett Lee. You're doing your job. But what did you think of MJF's promo? I mean, that was solid.
Oh my God, dude. I'm still laughing about how he said Cody's hair looked like a cat took a piss on top of it.
Yeah. MJF sounds like he's been in the wrestling business for 25 years or so.
Mm-hmm. He does, man.
He has not been in the business that long. And I just love how this guy has took to it so quick and already on the main stage is TNT and AEW. I really like Wardlow with MJF. I wish he had a different name than Wardlow. It looks that great and that big and who can fill a suit out really well. His name's fucking Wardlow. Wardlow, I mean. I said Wardlow. Wardlow. It's a really weird name, but I mean, the guy and looks great with MJF. They really counteract each other really good.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very, very good promo.
Oh God!
I'm glad I'm gonna see these two guys lock up and have a match with each other.
Yeah.
Really good promo. Really, one of my favorite segments on the show.
Yeah, it was one of mine. It definitely was one of mine right there. I definitely did enjoy it. I mean, he hit so many points there. It was so freaking unbelievable on how many points that MJF hit with Cody. I am definitely looking for these guys to hook up in the ring and go at it and have a match together. I definitely am looking for that right there. That is going to be great. I'll tell you what was going crazy on Twitter. I was sitting there looking on Twitter that later that night on seeing what people are talking about on Twitter. Talk about that tag team match with Kip Sabian and Shawn Spears going up against Adam Page and Kenny Omega. The star of that one right there, a lot of people were tweeting about, was Penelope Cruz. Not Penelope Cruz. Penelope Ford, excuse me. Pulling off that amazing hurricanrana off the ring apron out onto the floor there. What'd you think of that, man?
Yeah, it was crazy. That tag team match was really good.
It was.
Man, I really like seeing Kenny Omega in this type of match instead of him doing goofy promos and just. I like seeing Kenny Omega as the badass wrestler that he is. Kenny Omega is one of, if not the best, bell-to-bell wrestlers in the world. And I really like seeing Kenny Omega in this match. It really showcased that. It was a good match.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good tag match. 4 stars in the ring. Kip Sabian's becoming a big star as association with the other 3. But, I mean, I put Kip at number 4, and if you want to rank these 4 guys. But Kip Sabian being with Penelope Ford is a big plus. I think that helps him a lot, being with a woman like her.
Yes.
But I really like the match. Really good back and forth match. Kenny Omega, when he does a V-trigger, I pop every time. It's one of the best moves in the wrestling business today. Yeah, it was a good one. Good match, man.
Yeah, it was a good match. The question I have, Chris, is why is not Penelope Ford doing women's singles matches on AEW television right now? Why is she not? Why have they not booked her on there? Why have they not done it yet? Why?
I honestly don't know a lot about this girl. I didn't even know she was a wrestler. She's just, she has a good presence about her, but I don't really know the whole backstory on her.
I can.
I know she's Joey Janela.
Yeah. She was with Joey Janela there for a while, and they were an item actually, and then they broke up. And I know at one point she did do a WWE tryout because people were buzzing about that there for a while. I believe it was last year she did a tryout with WWE, and that was basically it. You didn't hear nothing. And then she was doing shows, and you figured, well, it looks like they didn't pick her. And I don't know why they didn't pick her, because if you go on YouTube and you type in Penelope Ford, and you get to see some of the matches that she's done, she's great. Her in-ring ability is great, and I feel it's going to be WWE's loss for passing on a talent like that, because pulling off a Hurricanrana like that, I said to myself, I was like, God dang. I was like, they passed on her. I was like, their loss is AEW's gain. And you can see that. And I just wish we get to see more, because she's done a couple of AEW dark matches that you can pull up on YouTube there. She's done those. But why not have her do something on television where the whole world can see it on primetime cable? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think eventually, they'll get there with her.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to say this in all honesty. AEW's women's division is not where it needs to be right now.
Right.
They need to crack down on that and put a lot of focus into that and try to make it better than what it is. Because I'm not particularly into theirs like I am the women's division, NXT, or Raw, or SmackDown. AEW's women's division isn't properly set up right now, and hopefully they'll get that fixed in the near future. And hopefully we'll see Penelope Ford in some competitive wrestling matches.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to that. The main event of AEW, the Texas Street Fight, Young Bucks going up against Proud and Powerful. What a hell of a match. What a hell of a way to close the show, huh?
Yeah, man, they seem to be doing a lot of matches like this on television every week. Yeah, I really enjoyed this match. They did some very unique spots that you don't really see a lot in a hardcore style match like this. Yeah, I really thought these guys went at it. It looked insane and crazy, and both teams are really, really good. A lot of good brawling, a lot of good stuff went on into this match. Yeah, I'm ready to see what happens after this. These two teams have went at it a lot here lately. Proud and Powerful and the Young Bucks. Really enjoyed it. Really good main event.
Yes. Good main event. I loved it. I loved how Young Bucks they're great as a tag team. Just all in all, I'm always satisfied. Always enjoy seeing the Bucks, and it was great. I love the spots. I love the table spots. I love just the different types of spots, and a great match to end a great program. Scale 1 to 5. What do you think of AEW this week?
It was a solid 5 this week, man. I really enjoyed the whole show, honestly. It's like some stuff, like I said, the women's matches are kind of hard for me to get into lately. But other than that, I thought the show was really, really good.
Yes.
I loved every bit of it. What they did with Jericho, of course, trying to get Moxley to join the Inner Circle. I really liked that whole segment. It was kind of like the NWO thing.
Uh-huh.
Like, I thought Moxley was going to shirt and put it on and act like he was going to join and give Jericho the paradigm shift. That's what I was predicting that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it went that way, but man, I really enjoyed the show. Solid 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 5. I'm definitely gonna have to give it a 5 because the NWO angle that Jericho was doing with Moxley, I thought it was great, and it left you didn't know if Moxley is going to join or not. So we're going to find out next week. So I'm looking forward to that, to find out next week if Moxley is going to join the Inner Circle. And a lot of people don't think he will, and a lot of people think he will. We'll just have to wait till next week. NXT had a great triple threat match that no one expected at the end this week. But all in all, they developed more of the story in the fallout after War Games. I want to mention that the opening match was great because the other night, right before I went to sleep, every night before I go to sleep, Chris, I throw on the WWE Network and just play whatever's playing, and I just sit back and watch, and I know I fall asleep because it's late and I'm tired, but 205 Live is on, and Angel Garza came out, and he basically one-upped Leo Rush, who was wrestling Birch. Why is the name slipping off the front on the tip of my tongue there? Danny Birch. Leo Rush wrestled Danny Birch in a fantastic match there on 205 Live, and then Angel ended up showing up, and it ended in no contest because he's going after NXT Cruiserweight Championship, and that was the opening match this week. Great, fantastic, great spots, great false pinfalls. And then I was shocked that they gave it to Angel. He won the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. He beat Leo Rush. I was shocked. And I thought that was great because the crowd was behind this guy. This guy was tearing it up in the ring, and a lot of people were behind him. Now, after the match, he brought his girlfriend into the ring, which I thought was great, and he popped the question, and of course she said yes. And I thought that was the icing on the cake for him winning the Cruiserweight Championship. You win that title, and then you pop the question to your girlfriend, and she says yes. What a great way to start off NXT. Your thoughts on that, Chris?
Yeah, that's one of the matches I did watch. Phenomenal, man. Angel Garza is going to be a big star in the business. He has a good look to him, good presence. Everything in the ring looks pretty good. I think both guys need to work on their brawling when they brawl back and forth. Some of it was a little sloppy, but overall, I love the match. I mean, everything was flawless, man. Really, really good. I can't wait to see what Garza does in the near future with the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. And to top it all off, he did propose to his girlfriend in the ring, which is always good memories for the couple.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That was something right there. You know, popping the question in the ring to your girlfriend who's going to become your wife. You want to spend the rest of your life with, man. I don't get any better than that. I mean, how many times has wrestlers done that to their loved ones? How many times?
Yeah, it's very rare. But I mean, I can't think of anybody right off the top of my head, but I mean, that's a really cool moment when you're a wrestler and you get to do that with your loved one. I think that's really awesome and unique. Mm-hmm. Having a wedding inside a wrestling ring would be awesome as well.
Yeah. That would be kind of like a throwback from SummerSlam. I believe it was SummerSlam 90 or 91 when the main event was Macho Man, Randy Savage, marrying Miss Elizabeth. Ooh, yeah. that would be great. That would be great. Travis Banks. I wanted to throw this out here. Travis Banks. I haven't seen him since the Cruiserweight Classic a couple years ago or 3 years ago. He went up against Jason Riker of the Forgotten Sons, and he defeated him, which was a surprise there. Dakota Kai defeated Mia Yim, and they're continuing that storyline right there because Mia Yim, she beat the crap out of Dakota Kai, which was a surprisingly, shockingly heel turn like we talked about with Dakota Kai turning on her teammates at War Games and Mia Yim getting some payback retribution for what she did to Team Ripley. How do you think about this story right here with Dakota Kai? Everyone from Team Ripley getting their hands and getting some retribution and payback on Dakota Kai for what she did at War Games.
Yeah. Dakota Kai turning on Tegan Knox. Really good stuff. That really threw off the War Games for me in a good way. I didn't know what was going to happen in the women's match. And then you bring it to TV. Everybody's chasing after Dakota Kai, who was in that match, because Dakota Kai ruined that match for them.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought this segment was good. I didn't watch a lot of it. Like I was telling you, I didn't watch a lot of NXT, people. Sorry. This week. I didn't watch a lot of it, but having Dakota Kai as that heel is really good, and it changes her character up a little bit. I'm ready to see what they do in the near future with this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mia Yim has felt some of Dakota Kai's wrath as well. But yeah, Mia Yim and Dakota Kai, I thought it was pretty good.
It was. It was really good. Do you think the reason why they changed Dakota Kai in the way she is because she kind of reminded you of Bayley in some ways?
Kinda. I mean, yeah. When she was, that's what I kind of thought as well. Mm-hmm. But she wasn't going anywhere. And I think that for any superstar in a major company, if the crowd stops reacting, you got to change something up. And you got to change something up. And they definitely did it with Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it gets through it for them.
Yeah, they changed it up, and I like how she has that knee brace of Tegan Knox, and she's running around and stuff. I can't wait for Tegan Knox to come back and get some retribution for herself. I believe that's going to happen in next month, right around. Right around War Games. Now she got put out of War Games. I'm going to say right around the Royal Rumble next month, right around there, they're going to have another takeover, I believe. And I want to see Tegan Knox come back and get some retribution against Dakota Kai for what she did to her at War Games. I just wanted to throw this out here. Shockingly, Breeze Dango shows up and defeats the Singh brothers. When's the last time you've seen this Breeze Dango on NXT television, man?
Well, they've been using Breeze Dango off and on NXT as of late. I didn't see any of this on the NXT show. I'm not a big fan of the Singh brothers. I just can't get into them.
Yeah, me neither.
You know, Breezango for a while, man, on SmackDown was a pretty entertaining team.
Yeah. They came out with a pretty entertaining entrance, too, since you bring that up there. They came out with, like, nurses, came out with, like, a doctor gimmick entrance, you know, with the looking at them like doctors. He had 2 hot nurses, and they came out to the ring, and these guys work really, really well together. Tyler Breeze is fantastic in the ring. I watched him back before he went to the main roster, Chris, in NXT at house shows here in Daytona Beach. Him main event the house show against, like, Neville, who's known as Pac right now in AEW. They tore the house down, man. Both of those guys did. And he can do it. I just wish they would have done a lot more with this guy, but I'll rant about that on a different day and different night.
Well, I mean, the first time I saw Tyler Breeze was when he faced Liger at an NXT TakeOver.
Yes.
That was the first time I saw Tyler Breeze. And I have looked up in his past matches with Neville, and they was really awesome as well. I don't know how that all got lost. I don't know how they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball with Tyler Breeze as a singles guy. But then they picked it up again. But Fandango with him. And the Breezango team at first was kind of weird, but then it got really good when you saw the personalities of both guys come out. I thought it was entertaining. I thought they could have done a lot with those guys.
Yeah.
They did the Fashion Police thing. Man, I thought it was just entertaining stuff. I thought it was really entertaining for the SmackDown brand. That was one of the best things on there. Hopefully, I believe they're in that role now in NXT to get that talent over. I mean, but it was kind of nice for them to see it get a win. But and hopefully they reinvent themselves in the NXT brand and become something bigger than, you know, what could have been on SmackDown. I thought the WWE should have gave them the tag team championships or something.
Yeah,
I thought that was really good.
Yeah, that's definitely. I definitely agree right there. I definitely agree. They should have gave them the tag titles and let them run with them. Talking about titles, Finn Balor shockingly defeated Keith Lee and Tommaso Ciampa in a triple threat match to be named the number 1 contender for Adam Cole, baby, NXT Championship. Are you shocked?
I did see a lot of this match. Finn Balor looked awesome in this match. It looked like the old Finn Balor. I really loved how they presented him in the match. Also, Ciampa always does really good. I loved one of my favorite spots in the match was when Keith Lee was getting Finn Balor up for the pop-up power bomb, and he reversed it into the coup de grace foot stomp. I thought that was really good. Yeah, I would like to see Finn Balor and Keith Lee in a singles match at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready next week. For next week as well, Adam Cole and Finn Balor. I may have to record AEW next week.
Yeah.
Adam Cole and Finn Balor, how can you beat that?
Exactly. Then you got Shayna Baszler and Rhea Ripley going at it too. They've.
I didn't know that. I didn't see earlier about Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, and Shayna Baszler. I mean, that's.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know how AEW top of that.
I don't know what they're going to do. I'm right there with you. I don't know what AEW is going to do for next week to top this right here, to make more people watch what their programming is doing. They better pull a rabbit out of their ass or do something, man. They got to do something. They have to do something. One spot I do want to mention about this triple threat match was when Tommaso Ciampa had Keith Lee up on his shoulders. Oh, my God. The strength of that man right there. And I loved how he just backdropped his ass when he had him up on his shoulders.
Yeah, man, it's just crazy. All of it was insane.
It was insane. I was shocked at Finn Balor. Yeah, Finn Balor, Adam Cole, that's a match right there. If you look at it like this, Chris, you got two former Bullet Club members going head-to-head at each other. You got the founding member and a member who was a part of the Bullet Club at one point. And it's going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to it. And I cannot wait next week for NXT now after hearing the card and what's going to be happening. AEW, guys, you better pull something out of your ass this week coming up, because if not, you're just going to be sitting there and just looking just like...
Yeah, man.
You're just going to be sitting there looking like that. That's it. Hopefully they don't just come off like anal and they pull something out. That's what I'm hoping, man. That's what I am hoping they do. Most definitely. AW or NXT this week, Chris, 1-5.
I think AEW and NXT tied this week. With what I was reading on NXT, because I didn't watch the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
If I watched it, I would rank it the same as I did AEW as a 5. Because I did watch the Cruiserweight match and the main event, and that alone made it a 5.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'd rank it a 5.
Nice. I'm going to tie them this week. I'm going to give them like I did AEW this week. I'm going to give them a 5-2. Because that triple threat, I just was like, oh my God. I just wanted to mark out because it was just great. Keith Lee, he's so over. The talent in NXT is so over. It's unreal, is it not?
Yeah, it's insane. NXT is becoming like it used to be again. Because there for a while I wasn't watching it, but here lately, man, it's picked up, and I'm really excited for the NXT brand in the near future. I really, really love the Undisputed Era. Finn Balor, Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee is becoming one of their big stars too. I think Keith Lee in that Survivor Series match, like I was telling you earlier, man, that put him at different heights than what he already was. Yeah, I'm really ready for this. Really ready for this NXT brand to take off, man. And I'm glad they're hanging in there because I thought AEW was going to blow them out every week.
Yeah.
I was wrong, man. I was wrong. And I'm glad I was wrong because I want all of the wrestling business to thrive.
Yes.
I just that was just my opinion at the time. I thought that AEW was going to run over top of them, but man, I don't know how they're going to beat them next week, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how AEW is going to beat NXT.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. We definitely will. I do want to mention that we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I do want to jump in and talk about some rumors, or not rumors, but some news that hit the internet this week. I want to talk about some news with the WWE Hall of Fame 2020 inductees, and I want to talk about WWE releasing some of its talent. So when we come back, we will discuss that and jump in to a new segment on this day in wrestling history. And we will talk about what happened on this day in wrestling history and TLC pay-per-view predictions for this weekend on WWE Network, TLC 2019. And we will talk about that and much, much more right after this.
You're listening to The Everett Lee Show.
The following support and sponsor Podcast City Network. City Limits Tap Room, sports bar in DeLand, Florida, has brew on tap, serve food, the grilled cheese is excellent. For upcoming events, check out City Limits Tap Room on Facebook.com/City Limits Tap Room. Morph Tee, a comfortable and lightweight 100% polyester t-shirt with illustrated morph characters that, when worn, will make the illustrations seem to come to life. For more of Tony Rodriguez's work, you can see his full line of apparel at teespring.com. Sports Sanity Customs have worked with organizations from custom embroidering polo shirts to jerseys for your kids' baseball team. They do it all. Armed with state-of-the-art equipment and an in-house design team, they are equipped to take on your next project. Visit their website to learn more, sportsanitycustoms.com. Visit Sports Sanity Customs on Facebook.com/SportsSanityCustoms. 3 Count Design offers a wide range of graphic design products, video, photography and other forms of media. Everything from t-shirt designs to websites. Visit Facebook.com/3CountDesign for more. Demo Blast Studios, an explosion of imagination. Original artwork, podcasts, video, apparel and more. Visit DemoBlastStudios.com. Visit Demoblast Studios on Facebook.com/Demoblast Studios, the best family entertainment pro wrestling show in the state of Kentucky. Kentucky's Own Wrestling brings quality family vintage wrestling to a town near you. Kentucky's Own Wrestling offers a ladies division in wrestling and a training school. Kentucky's Own Wrestling is the current longest running Southern promotion. Visit Facebook.com/Somerset Kentucky's Own Wrestling. All supporters and sponsors are brought to you by Podcast City Network.
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
For more of The Everett Lee Show on social media, follow and like The Everett Lee Show on Facebook, The Everett Lee Show, Twitter, @The Everett_Lee, Instagram, Everett Lee Show. Audio versions of this podcast and previously released podcast can be found on everettleeshow.podbean.com. Stitcher Radio, The Everett Lee Show, give a rating and comment. Apple Podcast, The Everett Lee Show, give a rating and comment. YouTube, The Everett Lee Show, subscribe to the channel. The Everett Lee Show, your shot of entertainment to the head.
Hey fans, here at Podcast City Network, we have a lot of great shows on all of our great social media outlets. PodcastCity.net.
Facebook.com/PodcastCityNetwork. Hit that thumbs up. You can send a tweet to Podcast City Network on Twitter @PodcastCityNet.
Only on Podcast City Network. You're listening to The Everett Lee Show.
All right.
I'm back. Oh.
You're back. And I'm back. And we're back right here for your Slammin' Thursday edition of the Everett Lee Show. Just a reminder, you can follow Everett Lee on Facebook, the Everett Lee Show. Click that thumbs up. And you can send me a tweet on Twitter @the Everett_Lee. Follow me on Instagram, Everett Lee Show, and subscribe for the audio portion of this podcast and previous release podcast over on the Everett Lee Show on YouTube, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and everettleeshow.podbeam.com. Download those apps for your phone and give a rating and a review of the podcast and the program tonight and any other night. Chris, TLC. Man, I'll tell you. That is going to...
Yeah. I just don't know, man. I mean, this pay-per-view, I mean, it looks all right, but there's no WWE or Universal Championship matches.
Nah.
And I don't know. Why have a pay-per-view if you're not going to have your guys on there? I mean, you got Bray Wyatt on there, but he's not even defending the championship.
Nah.
And that's just I don't know why he just didn't go up against Daniel Bryan. I don't know why they just didn't have that storyline still. Or just have it go against The Miz for the championship. I don't know. I just don't like that at all. I don't really like Bray Wyatt being the champion, to be honest with you. I think he shouldn't have even had it. Not right now, at least. I think they could have kept him away from that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so weird, this whole pay-per-view without their main champions on there. I don't know how I feel about it, but I will watch it and hopefully enjoy it. There's some matches on here I like, specifically Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy.
Yes.
Now, that match will probably be the best one on the whole entire card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they this past Monday they did some stuff with that with Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy, and that's going to be probably one of my favorite matches there. Yeah, the Bray Wyatt versus... Well, let me back up. Who would you pick out of Aleister Black and Buddy Murphy to win this one?
I'm going to go with Aleister Black because this whole little thing's built around him anyway to knock on his door.
Mm-hmm.
With Aleister Black's calling out the locker room to answer the challenge. I really think Aleister Black will win this one, but I don't think this will be the end of the rivalry. I think they'll continue this on down the road. And how could they not? I mean, I see this match being one of the best ones of the year. And I really like Buddy Murphy. Is who he is. I mean, it's awesome. Really good wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So is Aleister Black. Aleister Black's character and his whole presence is awesome. Yeah, this match is going to be really good, man. I'm going to pick Aleister Black. That's my pick.
That's your pick. I'm going to go with Aleister Black, too. They built him up strong, and I believe, this is not going to be over because Aleister Black has someone to dance with here for a while. Why not Buddy Murphy? Why not Buddy Murphy? Why not him? Because he had some great moments last year or a few months ago. Yeah, earlier this year he had some great moments being on SmackDown, especially when he wrestled Roman Reigns. He had some great moments, and even on 205 Live he tore it up. And now he's going to tear it up with Aleister Black on Monday Night Raw. I'm looking forward to it. I've liked Buddy Murphy. I liked what he's brought to the table. He's brought some really good... He can hold his own. He's a great in-ring performer. But Aleister Black, they built him up strong, beating people down, opponents after opponents. But, yeah, I definitely feel that this one's going to be something that's going to be around for a while. I definitely do. Bray Wyatt in The Miz, non-title match. Come on, man. This guy, The Miz, he has his own reality show with his hot wife, Maurice, which is a great show. Miz and Mrs. I love it. Why not put the title back on this guy? This guy is a company guy. If Chris, you think about company men, The Miz is one of them. He's been loyal and faithful and dedicated to WWE for years. Put the title on this guy, man. Put the title on The Miz. Put it on him because he can bring so much.
I would agree with that, but I also don't think The Miz needs it either. Eventually, yeah, I said The Miz would get it. The Miz is a star. He is a big star in WWE and has been for quite some time. And he does have his own reality show as well that I do not watch. But the dude has his own reality show. And it's doing very well for him, as I see online. I'm going to pick Bray Wyatt in this one.
Yeah.
I think the victor in this one just not have I just haven't been into this as of late. I did like the Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan Survivor Series stuff though.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought that was done really well. I really wish there would have been a rematch with those two guys, but they're going to go somewhere different with this. Just not invested in it like I should be, but I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt. That's my pick.
Okay. Yeah, Bray Wyatt's going to retain the title. I mean, well, actually, he's going to win this one. It's not even a title match. This is not even a TLC match. He's gonna beat The Miz, and maybe they'll do something with this right here. Bray will end his feud with Daniel Bryan and move on and just continue with The Miz, and maybe a title match will happen, and maybe The Miz will get the title. If not, there's a lot of other people on SmackDown that can go after the title. And from what I'm hearing, early predictions, I want to throw this out here. Vince wants WrestleMania 36 main event to be The Fiend versus the big dog, Roman Reigns. How do you feel about that?
It's just shit.
Is that in a good way or bad way?
I don't think that's shit. It's not going to be good at all. I also heard that The Rock is supposed to face Roman Reigns. So there's a lot of rumor and innuendo around 2020.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't. Now, The Fiend, though, versus Roman Reigns would be good, too. But,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that will happen or not. I don't see that happening.
Right.
Speaking of Roman Reigns, and he's going against King Corbin in a TLC match, do you think this is the main event of the show?
I think it will. I think this one will, because they want to push Roman back into the title picture. He's been mid-card. They want to put him back into the main event and the top tier of being a main eventer again. And having a TLC match with Baron Corbin, I'm interested to see what they do. What can they do with this match that's not been done before? That's always something. I don't know if you look at it that way. If when you watch a TLC match or you watch a match that's been done so many times, you want to see what new things are going to pull out. I'm going to have to say Roman is going to win this one because after all the humiliation that King Corbin has put him in, he's going to win it. He's going to win it. Yeah. And once he went, what's that?
I was just saying, I see Roman Reigns winning this, and I see Rude and Ziggler, of course, interfering in the match and all that. Yeah, I see Roman Reigns taking this one. I think it'd be pretty good. I think it'd be a pretty good match. I mean, I like a TLC match. I like they're fun to watch. And these two guys have a heavy story going into the match, so hopefully it'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been doing this for quite a while. They definitely have been doing this quite a while there with this feud with Roman and King Corbin. They have Roman's going to win it and he's going to move on. WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. You got the New Day going up against the Revival. How many times has New Day won this tag team titles? What is this? The 6th, 7th time already?
I think it's 7. I think it's 7 times.
Jeez.
I'm pretty sure it's 7.
Yeah.
I'll look it up here. But yeah, I mean they're a really good tag team. The New Day is really, really well together. It sucks that they keep getting bit by the injuries. Big E had just came back, and then now you got Xavier Woods out now, and that's kind of hard for them to, it's kind of hard for them right now. They got to have that third guy that makes the New Day what it is.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I mean,
yeah, not having that
I really
third
like
guy.
This tag. I really like this tag team a lot, but I'm gonna go with the Revival. I really enjoy the Revival. As a tag team, I really enjoy them a lot. They're a throwback, and they're one of my favorite tag teams in the company. And hopefully they come away with it.
Yeah.
Hopefully they come away with the championship.
Yeah, hopefully they will come away with the championship. I like to see them get the belts back and take it off New Day and do some New Day. Yeah, Xavier Woods, he's out with injury. He won't be back until after WrestleMania. That's crazy. That is crazy. But yeah, I like to see the Revival get the tag titles back because I would definitely like that. Talk about tag titles, Chris. The Viking Raiders doing an open challenge for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Did you hear about that?
The Viking Raiders. There's an open challenge.
Yep. Who's going to answer the call?
I know they did one. Now, I know the Viking Raiders did one on Raw with the Street Profits. Beat the Street Profits fairly quick. Man, I don't know who the Viking Raiders are going to face. I don't know who, I don't know who's going to answer it, to be quite honest. The Viking Raiders are a really good tag team here as of late. And I don't think Bobby Roode will be there. I forgot. He got suspended.
Yeah.
So I don't think Bobby Roode will be around tomorrow. I did not see that.
Yeah, no one saw that coming. No one's seen that coming, man. No one's seen that coming. I agree with you right there. Yeah, it's going to be interesting who's gonna answer the call.
Hopefully, AOP.
That'd be good. That definitely would be good. That'd be a squash match, or would it not?
If it's AOP, hopefully it's not a squash match. Hopefully AOP can get the tag team championships and make them stronger by beating the Viking Raiders, and that makes it stronger for Seth Rollins to have the tag team championships along the side.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Good point. I like that point right there. That's a good point right there.
Same Raiders. Everybody's surprised, and then Rollins comes out and says he has now the most dominant tag team in the company by his side. And that makes Rollins even more of a bigger heel and star as well, and makes the Office of Pain stars.
Exactly. More heat.
I think that would be really good. I think they should do that right there. And to make it even crazier, in the matches AOP has with the Tag Team Championships, Seth could actually help the big guys win to make them look even more hateable.
Yeah,
Because they're big, they should win them. But then they got Rollins helping them. I think that would be pretty neat to see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my prediction. AOP answers the challenge.
Okay. I'm gonna go with you on this. AOP. We'll see if AOP answers the call. If not, then we both were taken by surprise with this. I like to see that. I'm going to go with you on this one right there. I definitely am. Another tag team match.
Yeah, if they want this pay-per-view to be really, really good without their WWE champion defending his championship and Lesnar not there, have AOP come out and win and swerve everybody. I think that would help them as well.
Yeah,
the Viking Raiders have been so dominant here lately in everything they do.
Mm-hmm.
And just to have the AOP come first match back, beat the tag team champions and get the titles. I mean, that's good booking in my opinion right there. That's how I would book it.
Dude, I agree with you. I would book it like that too. Because you would expect some other tag team like Gallows and Anderson coming out there. You would expect to have who else? Maybe the return of Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys. They would get beat. The Viking Raiders would retain. It'd be back to where they were before. Put a team out there that you would not expect. And AOP, the Authors of Pain, would be that team right there. I definitely like to see that.
Yeah, and have them beat the Viking Raiders in about 7 to 8 minutes tops. Make them look dominant.
Oh, God. Dude, that's a lot of big guys running around in the ring.
I know it's a little short, not like 8 minutes, probably about 10, 15 or something like that. But have them look strong over the Viking Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is a pay-per-view. They'll go longer than 8 minutes. But, I mean, even if it went that long, just have the AOP look really dominant because you got Seth, who's one of the top guys in the company. You're going to have to, if you're going to pair him with those two big guys, have them go over strong on the Viking Raiders and get the tag team championships. And then Seth, they could magically turn Brock babyface and have Seth go after the Universal Championship with his two big guys protecting him.
You mean the WWE Championship?
There's so much stuff you can do with Seth Rollins and those two guys.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully they execute it right. Because I think if Lesnar and Seth was in the ring together, the fans would be more of Lesnar. To be quite honest with you.
Yeah, because they can't stand Seth.
I think Seth is back to 2015 Seth Rollins, a hated bad guy, and I think that's where Seth works better at as well as being the bad guy heel.
Yeah.
So hopefully they do something with Office of Pain and Seth Rollins in the near future. The J&J Monstars. J&J Security Monstars. that game made my day today. That was the best one I saw all day today. Yeah, and J and J Security though, when they was with Rollins, it was really good.
Yeah.
Corporate Kane, all that. I really like that era of Rollins.
Randy Orton getting
Rollins
jealous.
Sting worked. Eventually, Corporate Kane would turn into the Demon King again, and he worked Demon King. He worked John Cena, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose. Seth Rollins had one hell of a year, and then he got hurt, unfortunately. And then he came back as Seth Rollins. You did see. Now he's back to that old chicken shit heel that, I really like Rollins as that. Rollins can still do his crazy moves that made him famous and all that, but that cocky, arrogant attitude really fits Rollins. And having the AOP hopefully brings them up, and Rollins as well.
Yeah. I'd like to see that. I like to see AOP come out there and swerve everybody on that one. That would be fantastic. That definitely would be. One last tag team would have to be the women's tag team tables, ladders, and chair match. The Kabuki Warriors going up against Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. How do you feel about the Kabuki Warriors? How they're booked right now, being chaos, crazy, and doing whatever the hell they want and spraying mist all over in people's faces.
The Kabuki Warriors are a really good tag team. I think they've done really good here lately. We've seen this match already before, though, with these women. It would be insane to see Charlotte and Becky as the tag team champions. But I'm going to go with the Kabuki Warriors on this one. I don't see Becky two belts being a thing again. And I don't see Charlotte being tag team champion with Becky. I think those two will not communicate well in the match, and I think that Becky Lynch and Charlotte will lose to the Kabuki Warriors.
Okay. Yeah, I can see them taking the belts off the Kabuki Warriors and putting them on someone like Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. And I feel that they can do that, but I feel that the Kabuki Warriors still has a lot to offer as a tag team champions. I'm going to have to go with the Kabuki Warriors retaining. I am. I'm going to have to basically go with them retaining. And Charlotte and Becky, maybe, I don't know what they're going to do with that right there. Because I still feel that they're going to hold out for Ronda Rousey next month at the Royal Rumble, and I feel that they're going to head that direction with her getting a rematch and getting her belt back at WrestleMania, because she lost at WrestleMania. She can get it back. That's just how I feel. But Kabuki Warriors, man, Kairi Sane, different side of Kairi Sane than what we were used to seeing on NXT. I like it. With Asuka's just crazy, man. I like it when Miss Robotic Charlie went up there and just started C-3POing questions to the Kabuki Warriors, and they went off in the Japanese rant, Asian rant, whatever you want to call it. And then she's like, can you please just translate that so the audience can listen? And they basically was just like, they just let loose, man. I love Asuka doing the green mist. It's a throwback to Tajiri, and it's also a throwback to the Great Muta. Is it not, man? Is it not?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's Asuka. I believe Asuka did that in Japan as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's what some of the internet smart fans are saying about Asuka. She used to do that in Japan before she got to NXT, the Green Mist, and I really do like that about Asuka because Asuka was falling on the wayside before she got into this tag team. It was just kind of like she was just there.
Yeah.
And I really them as a tag team. Kairi Sane was a good singles competitor in NXT. Had some great matches with Shayna Baszler. Really enjoy seeing her with Asuka. And hopefully adding a third member to that with Io Shirai in the near future.
Oh.
Where she is a heel as well. Yeah, there's a lot of good things happening in the women's division.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Definitely. I love that. I'm glad you brought that up. Tables match. Rusev versus Bobby Lashley with Lana. We talked about that earlier. How bad and horrible that was right there. Is this, Chris, going to be the match that ends the feud?
I do. I think this is the match that ends it all. And I don't know how they could go beyond a tables match. I'm going with Rusev on this one. This match will either be the main event or it will be Roman Reigns and King Corbin. One of these two will close the show.
Yeah.
But my pick is Rusev. Hopefully they end this and do some different stuff with these guys. Because, I get they're trying to be different. They're trying to do something edgy for TV. But let's face it, no one's into this stupid shit. And we're all just ready for these guys to do something else. I'm going to go with Rusev on this one. Lana will be involved in it. In my mind, I was thinking that Lana would go back to Rusev and help Rusev win. But I don't think that she'll go back to Rusev right now. I think down the road. But I think eventually they'll get to that. But it could happen Sunday. That was in the back of my mind. I think that would happen. But it's just, I just can't wait for this to be over.
Right.
I'm gonna go with Rusev. That's my pick.
Okay, Rusev. I'm gonna have to go with Rusev too. The way I picture this, Chris, is that Rusev puts Bobby through the table. The match ends. Lana's sitting there just going all outright about it. Rusev grabs Lana and pulls her in and gives her one big kiss on the lips and pushes her away. And he's like, ha ha! And he walks up the ramp. And while he's leaving to head back to gorilla position, the crowd is chanting, Rusev Day, Rusev Day, Rusev Day. And he leaves and he moves on from it. And Lana's sitting there just so violated. She seems like she's on her knees there and she's like, just screaming. And then you have Bobby there just kind of in and out of it like, did I miss something, man? And then that's it. They end it like that. How do you like that for an ending?
That would be entertaining.
That would be
entertaining. If they did an ending like that, there would be later on down the road another match between the two, which would be all right. It just it all goes accordingly to Sunday. Hopefully these two guys tear the house down and have a good match, and which make us more invested in the storyline because these guys haven't touched yet. And it's hard to stay invested in the storyline because both guys in the past wasn't presented very well. Like,
yes.
when Bobby Lashley returned to WWE, I thought they was going to build him and Brock Lesnar. That's what I was looking for.
Right.
And they just didn't do that. And they had Lashley and this other stuff, and it kind of killed Lashley's buzz coming into the company. And Rusev, after the Rusev day, Rusev got hurt, and he's been out a while. And then he came back and got snake bit by the Maria and Mike Kanellis storyline, and that kind of got dropped really quick.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
It's just hard for us as fans to get invested in these guys, but hopefully they have a good match this weekend. It is a very hard match to do, a tables match, a lot of psychology and a lot of moving parts in that style match. But I'm ready for it. I'm ready to finally see these guys touch. Hopefully they put on a good match and keep the storyline going, but the way it's going right now, it's just not good, and I want the storyline to end. But if they can change my mind this weekend, and that would be good. What you said the finish could be, that could probably be for a Raw after TLC.
Yeah,
with these three components.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm ready for a TLC this weekend. I'm ready for the show. I'm ready for it. I always love a good wrestling show on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I hope it makes up for Starrcade. Because I was so disappointed in Starrcade. I could go on for hours about what I hated about Starrcade. But this is going to be, hopefully they make up for it. And in a way, I felt like they should have spent more time building this, because I feel like you got 2 weeks. You're going to build a pay-per-view in 2 weeks. You're going to run right through it to get to the Royal Rumble, because I feel like they've spent all their time and energy on the Royal Rumble. That's where it's at. It's like, let's get through TLC. Come on. Let's get through it. Come on. We'll get through TLC. Let's get to Royal Rumble. Come on. We got to get to WrestleMania. It's like you're missing everything in between. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
They're even having. I mean, coming off a great Survivor Series, I think they should just build the Rumble and forget about the Survivor Series. I mean, not Survivor Series, the TLC pay-per-view itself. It's just, I don't know, it's just a gimmick.
It is.
It's a gimmick pay-per-view with matches. And, I mean, for the talent, I'm sure they don't want to go through a fucking table and ladders and shit for no reason, no story.
Right.
I mean, okay, I take that back. The matches that are gimmick are storyline with Lashley and Rusev and Roman Reigns and King Corbin. And, that has a storyline to end with a gimmick match, but man, I think, the Rumble should be the match after Survivor Series. That should be the Rumble should be the pay-per-view after Survivor Series.
Exactly.
And I think the TLC pay-per-view ran its course throughout the years. I really don't think a lot of people are into it. I do like a good TLC match, but it don't have to be at the pay-per-view. Let it be a special occasion. Kind of like the Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell used to be a fun match to watch, but now you got like 3 or Hell in a Cell matches on one pay-per-view, and it's hard to watch them.
Yeah.
I missed it when Hell in a Cell was a special occasion. When TLC was a special occasion. And,
yes.
I don't like them being like all the time thing. I miss the behind the matches. I miss the build up. It's just, I miss hearing the GMs of Raw or SmackDown saying, you're going to be in a match with this guy in a Hell in a Cell match. And it was all like, oh, my God. But now it's like an every year thing with the Hell in a Cell TLC pay-per-views, and it's just not fun anymore.
Yeah.
In that sense, I miss it being a big surprise that these guys would be in these matches. Now it's just, you see a lot of it now, and it's just overdone now. I don't really know how to explain it, but hopefully it's a good show this weekend, man. Hopefully it's good. I'm going to watch, of course. I'm a fan of WWE, and I'm going to continue to be a fan till the day I die. And I'm going to be a trooper and get through the bullshit that they have right now out, because it is bullshit. Some of the stuff is. But hopefully it gets better.
Yeah.
Hopefully it gets better. I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because it's more like, yeah, I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you. You hit the nail on the coffin, man. You hit the nail on the coffin on that. You definitely did hit it right there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what they do at TLC. I'm looking forward to the good, the bad, and ugly with this pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to see what they do afterwards. Anything carrying into the Royal Rumble during the 30-man elimination, 30 women elimination, and just where they go with that right there. I know Brock Lesnar will be appearing at the Royal Rumble with the Universal title in some shape or form. It's too early right now. We'll see what happens with that. And then, of course, after Royal Rumble, you have the Elimination Chamber. And then after that, you have WrestleMania. And then we hit the reset button, and we start fresh for the whole year, which I'm looking forward to see what 2020 will bring. And yes, this is the last pay-per-view of 2019 for WWE right here on this Sunday, on December 16th, 2019. Well, we're looking forward to a lot of things on this pay-per-view, and some good, some bad, and some off-the-wall predictions, which I think was great. As always, you're the best, Chris, at coming up and thinking outside the box with matches and match cards. Same with me. Don't want to stroke my own ego, but I love it. I love it. Speaking, we've been talking about throwing in and out there of WrestleMania. Right before WrestleMania, every year, they do a Hall of Fame induction. I feel that it's a little bit early, too early, to have WWE inductee announcements. Did you catch about who's going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame for 2020 this year?
I really like what I've saw so far, the NWO and Batista.
Yes.
I think that's two big headlines. I think that's two big headlines that should have been like the NWO this year and Batista the following year, because I think both of them deserve that spotlight in the Hall of Fame. I think both of them are at that level in stardom. Because when they get these guys out there at WrestleMania, they kind of have all the other Hall of Famers out there, and one get their own separate entrance music. I think both of these guys deserve their separate entrance music at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the inductees, Batista and the NWO. Both of them are closers at the Hall of Fame. Both of them are the main attractions. That's the two I've saw so far, and I'm impressed. I've always been a fan of Batista, and of course the NWO. I mean, it's really highlighting the original NWO members in the Hall of Fame this year. A lot of them are like, "Where's Vincent? Where's Macho Man? Where's Giant? Where's all these guys? But they wasn't the original cast.
Right.
The original cast was Hogan, Hall, Nash, and Six. Six was the fourth guy in the earlier on, and that's the NWO that everybody really remembers, when NWO wasn't watered down with all of the other attachments to them. NWO, I remember, was the original three with Hogan, Hall, and Nash. I mean, that's just what put WCW on the map, was that right there. That's what made them beat WWE 83 weeks in a row, was the NWO. And is Eric Bischoff going to be in this?
Yeah, that's a question right there. I'm glad you bring that up. Are Eric Bischoff, is he going to be a part of that right there?
I mean, I think he should be. I think Eric Bischoff added a lot of sizzle to the NWO when he joined, but he did join later on like everybody else, and I kind of see where they get that as well. But I think Eric Bischoff is up there with one of the popular NWO members. I mean, I think it's Hall. I mean, it's Hogan, Nash, Hall, and Eric Bischoff, in my opinion. I think that's the NWO right there. I mean, Eric Bischoff made the NWO more heelish and hateable by association. Like, Eric Bischoff used to get stuff thrown all over him coming out with Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
And because, you know, at the beginning, Bischoff was against Hall and Nash coming in. And coming into the company. Hall and Nash raising hell in the stands, running roughshod over WCW. And then Eric even got powerbombed at Great American Bash to the announce table, to the entrance ramp through a table. And he still joined the NWO. I mean, it's just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But hopefully Eric Bischoff gets inducted too. I thought he was a big part of the NWO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It came out in storyline in WCW that he was the one who brought in the NWO. NWO. Now, Hogan, Nash, and Hall would get 2 rings now, would they not?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Hogan got inducted. Hogan getting inducted again. Boom. There's your second ring. Nash and Hall already got inducted. Boom. There you go. There's your 2 rings. They will join the ranks of Ric Flair for being and Arn Anderson being inducted twice into the Hall of Fame by themselves and with the faction, the 4 Horsemen. Now, yeah, I was kind of shocked there. It's like, X-Pac, really? What about the rest of the NWO? What about the rest of them? And then you nailed it again, Chris. Yeah, because he was there during the beginning. I like to see Bischoff a part of that, but it looks like they're going to be just having these 4. He should be a part of that, but he's kind of out of good graces with WWE after what happened with SmackDown. So Bruce Pritchard has his job, but I'm excited to see the NWO finally inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's great. And you got the 3 founding members, Hall, Nash, and Hogan. Batista, do you think it's too soon, or is this the right time for him to be inducted to the Hall of Fame?
Batista?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I predicted that he'd be in the Hall of Fame this year from the last WrestleMania because that was his last match in the WWE was against Triple H. And he went out with a bang, man. That was one of my favorite matches of the night.
Mine too.
At WrestleMania 35. Those guys tore it down. And I said after that night, I go, Batista will headline the Hall of Fame next year, and here he is, co-headlining with the NWO. Batista's had one hell of a career, and the guy that inducted him, in my opinion, should be Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
Because Triple H into Evolution. That's what got Batista over more than anybody really in Evolution, with the exception of Randy Orton. Triple H and Ric Flair made 2 stars out of that group, Randy Orton and Batista, and it was really, really awesome to see that, Orton and Batista coming from the great OVW school with John Cena and Shelton Benjamin. One of the best classes, probably the best class ever out of OVW was those 4 guys. That was probably the best ones that came from that school. And Brock Lesnar as well went through there as well. Batista's done a lot over his career. Had that match at WrestleMania 23 with Undertaker. He's had WrestleMania match with John Cena. He's had a lot of great WrestleMania moments. A lot of great moments in his career. Turning on Evolution. Powerbombing Triple H through the table. Had a great match with Triple H at WrestleMania. Had a great feud with Triple H. Man, Batista's done a lot. Batista knows how to connect to a crowd very well. Definitely a Hall of Famer. I'm surprised he didn't go in earlier on. But glad to see him in the Hall of Fame. He went out with a bang earlier this year at WrestleMania. Man, I'm really excited for Batista, one of my favorite superstars of all time. I hate to say one of my favorite, but I certainly do not hate the guy. I really enjoy his matches he's had with Jericho. He's had matches with, Cena, like I said, Triple H, Randy Orton. Batista's been in the ring with a lot of amazing talent. Undertaker, as I said. Yeah, I really, really awesome to see Batista in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. Yeah, he had some great rivalries. I mean, especially with Triple H when Evolution broke up, and he headlined in WrestleMania that year and defeated Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship. I love it. I love it because he don't need to come back to wrestling, and he accomplished everything he needed to do, and he's Hollywood. Come on, tell me. You're in a movie that's like one of the biggest movies ever. And you get...
Yeah, I totally disregarded that. Yeah, Batista's becoming The Rock.
Yeah.
Movie-wise.
Yeah.
And Batista in Marvel movies who definitely put him on the map as a movie star.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got to be honest with you. I haven't seen him in the Marvel movies, but, I mean, Marvel is a popular brand, and to have Batista associated with that makes him even more popular. I've seen movie clips, of course, but Marvel is a powerful brand, out there brand, a very popular brand, and having Batista a part of it makes it better.
Yes.
And Batista, really, really great. Really great and deservingly of the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he deserves it because he's done. He ain't coming back. He's going to work at Hollywood and bring in those 20 million checks. Why would you, if you had 20 million in your pocket and you're given 2 options, you're going to stand right here and make movies, or you're going to get into a wrestling ring, and your age and everything that defines you is going to depend on what you do in that ring. Okay, I can make this much money over here doing this a year, where basically I can about do the same here, but however, depending on booking, draw, merchandise, etc., I got to roll around in the ring. I mean, I love wrestling, but I can do this here and break out and be like The Rock. Of course, you're going to take the $20 million paycheck and stand in front of the camera and say some lines, right? Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah. I'm glad.
A lot of wrestling fans, man, they just don't realize, like, some of these guys get into the business to hopefully make it as an actor one day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, definitely, The Rock and John Cena and Batista are the top three that's done it.
Mm-hmm.
And better than anybody. And, it took John Cena a little while because John Cena was so invested in the wrestling business. He just couldn't do it. But then, John Cena got a little older, and he wanted to reinvent himself as an actor and just stepped away from the wrestling business as a whole and has done his thing, and I'm really happy for John. A lot of fans hate on him because of it, but, I mean, come on. John Cena is a star. He's a superstar, and he did a lot for the WWE. And I myself is guilty of not liking John Cena at one point. But I really do put John Cena up there as a Hulk Hogan, as a Rock, as a Austin, as a Flair. John Cena deserves to be in those discussions as the greatest of all time. So.
Yeah, he definitely does. He deserves that. I agree with you right there. He does. He does. Speaking of talent, I want to mention WWE releasing some talent, man. Sin Cara, Luke Harper, and The Ascension. It was reported a while back ago that Sin Cara was unhappy with his contract and he wanted out. WWE did not want to grant his release. Same thing with Luke Harper. Luke Harper was out with injury. He comes back. Oh, we got nothing for you. Okay, well, you know what? I want out of my contract. Oh, no. Let's look at your contract. Okay. You know what? We'll pay you for the time you're out. And when we pay you for the time you're out, let's see what we got. Okay, you have a pay-per-view match here. Spot with your former tag team partner, Eric Rowan, who we used to call you the Basham Brothers, and that just didn't work because you got injured. All that stuff. Okay, just go. We don't need you. We have nothing for you. The Ascension, we used you guys doing this and that, and however, we feel that we really don't need you because we got all this other talent, and goodbye. And that's it. That's the way I looked at it this week. I mean, what are your thoughts on these releases?
I think WWE has a lot of talent that needs to be released just because simply there's no storyline or any spot for them. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those people are unhappy. And I don't blame the Ascension for leaving. I mean, at one time, those guys was a powerful NXT tag team, really over with the fans, both talented individuals. And hopefully, you could see them on NWA Power or AEW or Impact. Either one of those three would be great. I think those two would fit in AEW more than the other ones. Then you got Sin Cara?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Sin Cara.
Sin Cara got released. He was with WWE for a very long time. They brought Sin Cara in and hyped him up very well, but then This is a different Sin Cara than what they brought in originally, and he was just kind of floating and not doing anything. They just didn't have anything for him. And the main one, Luke Harper, I'm going to call it right now. He will be in the inner circle. He will be with Chris Jericho. I believe Luke Harper will be in AEW. I think Luke Harper will be a part of Chris Jericho's inner circle. I think the inner circle is going to grow beside the Le Champion, the GOAT, the man, the AEW World Champion, Chris Jericho. Will add another member to the stable. And I think Luke Harper deserves that. Luke Harper is an amazing talent. He was with the Wyatt family for many years. Luke Harper has a stronger name than the other WWE releases. I think Luke Harper will be in AEW quicker than people think.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be over there because he already trademarked his old wrestling indie name, Brody Lee. Yeah, he'll be over to AEW. What got me was, Chris, how WWE put a statement out. Yeah, the AEW going over to AEW won't be much of an impact on the business. Bull. They're going to get opportunity. Look at John Moxley. Look at Jericho. Look at Jack Swagger, or who he used to be. Look, come on. Yeah, these guys are going to go. Once their 90-day clause is up, you believe it, because they're going to jump somewhere and they're going to stay there. Or they're going to just jump somewhere and just keep promoting who they are and what they do for whatever it is. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure these guys will hopefully, not get so bummed out about getting released. I'm sure these guys wanted a release, but if they didn't, hopefully they pick themselves up, reinvent themselves, and become bigger stars, because there's a lot of people that's done it.
Exactly.
Cody, Drew McIntyre did it. He left and then came back as a bigger star. There's just a lot of people that's done it, and hopefully these guys are successful at it. And I see Luke Harper out. You got to do that.
Yeah, definitely. 2020 WWE Hall of Fame 2020 is going to be interesting. And here in the next few months, Chris, just seeing who they keep adding to the list and what potential people. I'm looking forward to that, because they're going to make history. And speaking of history, before we wrap this podcast up, I want to talk about what happened on this day, on December 12th, in wrestling history. Talk about the AWA World Heavyweight Champion. Larry Zbyszko retired the championship right before he went to WCW. Those not familiar with the AWA World Heavyweight Championship, the American Wrestling Association, they've pretty much at that time been inactive since the fall, and they've been continuing to air their programming until about 1991, and then the promotion itself filed shortly after for bankruptcy, and ultimately just boo, done. We're done. And also, if you remember, Chris, on this day in wrestling history, that Armageddon from the National Car Rental Center in Sunrise, Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, there was about 17,554 people in attendance, with about 300,071 people watching it on pay-per-view. If you look at the Armageddon pay-per-view, can you think of one thing that everyone would talk about a moment on that pay-per-view?
Man, I honestly don't remember a lot of it. I mean, nothing jumps out to me. It's just one of those, there's a fatal four-way with JBL, Taker, Booker T, and Eddie Guerrero.
Yes.
Which was pretty good. That's when JBL was the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion.
Mm-hmm.
That match, really the only one that, I can remember that stood out to me. But there's I went did my research earlier, and the Armageddon pay-per-view is definitely the one that stuck out to me the most on this day in wrestling history. It was just one of those pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't watch wrestling at that time, so I have to go back and watch a lot of the stuff. I just didn't watch it a lot at that time.
Yeah, what's interesting is about this time too, there was 2 pay-per-views, Armageddon pay-per-views on the same date. And I'm looking at the one you're talking about there. Yeah, where JBL defeated Eddie Guerrero, Undertaker, Booker T to retain the WWE Championship. Funaki defeated Spike Dudley to retain the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Oh, they had a Cruiserweight Championship back then? Yes, they did. It burnt me up, dude. I tell you, when they were talking about the Cruiserweight Championship, the first ever Cruiserweight Championship. No, you had the championship beforehand, but you want to ignore that. But Big Show defeated Mark Jindrak, Luther Reigns, and Kurt Angle in a handicap match. Dawn Marie defeated Miss Jackie with Charlie Haas as special guest referee. And John Cena defeated Jesus in a street fight to retain the U.S. Championship match. The Basham Brothers, Doug and Danny, defeated Hardcore Holly and Charlie Haas. Danny Punder defeated Mike Mizanian, The Miz. Judge's decision to win $1 million Tough Enough competition. And Rey Mysterio versus RVD. And he defeated, they both defeated Rene Dupree and Kenzo Suzuki to retain the WWE Tag Team Championship titles in that match. And then on the pre-show heat that night, you had Akuv and Billy Kidman defeat Paul London and Chavo Guerrero. Great times. But there's another time talking about Armageddon, Chris. And that was right around the time when the Triple H and Stephanie McMahon thing was going on, if you remember that.
Mm-hmm.
It was about that time. Triple H defeated Vince McMahon in a street fight to win an opportunity and a shot at the WWF Championship. If he had lost, his marriage to Stephanie McMahon would have been annulled. However, this will jog your memory, Chris. At that moment there, when you thought Vince was going to win, Stephanie injects herself into the match and helps Triple H win the match. And then afterwards, they embraced. She dropped the sledgehammer and embraced Triple H. And the next night on that Raw, it was revealed that the couple was connected. How Vince treated Stephanie earlier that year on Vince, how he handled the corporate ministry run with Stephanie being crucified. Remember that one?
Yes. Undertaker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Undertaker.
Austin.
Yep.
Save and I remember that. Yeah.
The higher power. Who's the higher power? It's me, Austin. All that right there. And basically, she didn't like how her father handled it, and she decided to go with the man that, it took her through a drive-through in Las Vegas and got her married to him. Wow.
Yeah, that was all
That was crazy.
stuff.
Yeah.
1999 was a pretty good year for the WWF at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Austin was hot. The Rock was hot. They had a lot of good shit, man. A lot of good stuff going on that year.
Yeah. Talking about
crazy to this is crazy to see where Chris Jericho is now in his career, because on that pay-per-view in 1999 he beat China.
Yes.
The Intercontinental Championship, and now look at what Jericho is doing. It's just crazy to go back and watch how much the business has changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You said The Rock. The Rock and Sock Connection. They defeated New Age Outlaws by disqualification in the WWF Tag Team title match. They won that. Kane defeated X-Pac in a steel cage match, and Val Venus defeated the British Bulldog and D'Lo Brown in a triple threat match to win the WWF European Championship. Hardcore and Crash Holly defeated Rikishi and Viscera. Now, here's another great moment out of that pay-per-view. I will not forget about this. Miss Kitty, Stacy Carter, that's who she is, defeated Irie, Jacqueline, and BB in a Four Corners evening gown match to win the WWF Championship, or Women's Championship. However, after the match, that's when Miss Kitty decided to strip off her gown and briefly flashed the crowd before Sergeant Slaughter rushed in and covered her up.
Yeah.
And
the women's evolution has changed since 1999 too, because that was the thing in 1999 and the 90s and even early 2000s was the women showing off and just being what it was.
Yep.
And it's crazy. It's just crazy how it's all changed now.
Mm-hmm.
Even Raw had a segment called HLA, Hot Lesbian Action.
Yeah, I remember that.
Imagine in 2019 it would not be good.
No.
And
yeah, it wouldn't.
It's just everything has changed. Everything has just it's evolved, and it's just totally different than what they did in the 90s. I did like that stuff, though, in the 90s. It was edgy. It made good TV, made good ratings, good pay-per-views. WWF was white hot in 1999.
Yeah, it was. It was at the hype of the Attitude Era. And speaking of Attitude Era, and talking about Miss Kitty there, stripping off her gown and flashing the crowd real briefly, that was not the first time. I remember my brother renting the video, the VHS tape, my younger brother from the video store. WWF Capital Carnage. It was basically a UK exclusive pay-per-view. And in the first time, check this out. Remember Jacqueline?
Yeah.
Okay. There was a moment in the match where she's on top of someone's shoulders and someone reaches up and grabs her top and pulls it off, and guess what happens? Everyone got to see what was underneath Jacqueline's top because it was all over the place. And I thought that was pretty funny there. It was like Miss Kitty, talking about this Armageddon pay-per-view. Miss Kitty flashing the crowd, and then Stephanie turning heel and turning against her father, I thought was great. Here's something right here I want to add. The Acolytes won the tag team title battle royal. And the Godfather and Mark Henry, they beat the Godfather, Mark Henry, excuse me, the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher, Edge and Christian, the Hardys, and the Dudleys, and the Mean Street Posse. And Too Cool to get the tag team titles. Interesting, huh?
Yeah, it's just crazy.
It
At
is.
that time where those guys were in the business, it's just crazy how it's all changed. Yeah, the APA, great tag team. The Hardys, a great tag team. The Dudleys. Edge and Christian was my favorite tag team from that era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the APA was definitely dominant and put JBL on the map and put Ron Simmons on the map again. Ron Simmons was in, he won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship and all that. But,
Yeah.
I believe that these guys got their most popularity as the APA.
Mm-hmm.
They still talk about it to this day, the APA.
Yeah.
I really don't remember this match per se, but I'm just going to go and just, talk about how these guys have, Mark Henry. I mean, he's had a hell of a career in WWE.
Yeah.
Father, Hall of Famer. I mean, the Mean Street Posse. I mean, that was a, Shane McMahon thing. Was that the Mean Street Posse? Was that Shane McMahon's friends, or am I getting something mixed up here?
I believe so.
I can't remember who the Main Street Posse was. But,
yeah, it was Pete. I know Pete Gass and Joey and someone else. I can't remember their names either, man. I would have to look that up though. But yeah, remember the Mean Street Posse?
I'm looking them up right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up right now. Mean Street.
Yeah, the friends of Shane McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
This is Shane McMahon's college. Yeah, I was right about that. Yeah.
Yep.
These guys was not. They wasn't in the business very long.
Nah.
And Shane McMahon as the Mean Street Posse. He's a McMahon, so he has the right to do so. The owners of the company. His dad's the owner of the company, I might add. But, I mean, he has a lot of influence. He's the son of a billionaire. But, yeah, the tag teams that stick out to me is the Hardys, Edge and Christian, the APA. Really good tag team division in 1999, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Good tag team division. Definitely. I would have to say on that. Yeah. Pete Gass, Rodney, and Joey Abs. What do you think of the names there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a lot about
creative
these guys. I know a little bit of the background that I've heard on, from Brooks Pritchard.
Yeah.
That same man's buddies. I mean, that's just all I can really remember from these guys. To be quite honest with you, but the other tag teams, I do remember seeing those guys in action. They was really great, especially the Hardys, Edge and Christian, great TLC matches. APA really kicked off JBL as we know him in the near future after 1999. And Ron Simmons, of course. Damn.
Damn.
Yeah, I had to throw that in there. But, yeah, APA, you go back and watch them against, a good team. It was really, really fun to watch them.
Yeah, it was. They were great. They were great. Well, speaking of just what happened in wrestling history and everything else in between, Chris, I'm going to have to say we covered quite a bit on this returning episode of Slammin' Thursday, huh?
Man, we've covered a lot, and I've had fun tonight. I thought we've had a really good show tonight.
Me
It's
too.
always fun to come wrestling. It's always fun to do what you love, and what I love is the wrestling business. I love everything about wrestling. I'm really passionate about wrestling. There's some stuff I hate, but it's just because I'm so passionate. I want everything to be better.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most thing I can say about wrestling fans. The wrestling fans that hate it are just so passionate. They just want it to be better.
Right.
I'm like that as well. And I'm happy to come on here with you, Everett Lee, and talk about wrestling. Glad to be on this podcast with you, brother, and just I had a good time tonight. You know.
Oh yeah.
I had a really good time tonight.
Yeah, I had a really, really good, fun time tonight. And like you were talking about having a really good, like we talk about having a really good, fun time tonight. You're going to have one this weekend. Tell me what you have lined up here, what appearances and what shows you're going to be doing this weekend.
Well, tomorrow night I'll be in Rocky Top, Tennessee. I will be in a 5-man elimination match. It should be a fun show. I'm really excited for it. B. Chris Rose is going to be rolling in to Rocky Top, Tennessee, and I will be taking on Sean Hoodrich, Chris Crow, Tom Coffey, and Fala Ball, who is in Impact Wrestling. I'm really, really excited for the match. Hopefully, Big Chris Rose comes out on top, and I guarantee I will, because I am the man. I am the best. I am the Chris Rose. And everybody should come on out to Rocky Top, Tennessee. The bell time is at 7 o'clock. The doors open at 6. It is a Suplex for Santa. It is for the Toys for Tots, for the children, for the misfortunate. It's going to be a fun show, man. There's a lot of good stuff going on this show. And hopefully everybody comes out tomorrow to watch. And, of course, Saturday we got KZW, A Christmas Story, December 14th. Bell time's at 7:30. Doors open at 6:30. And the Chris Rose doesn't know what he's up to yet, but I do know that my tag team partner, one half of the Chris Coalition, Chris Sterling, will be in a fatal 4-way defending his United States Championship, and hopefully he comes out on top. Actually, not hopefully. I know he will come out on top, because me and Chris Sterling, the Chris Rose and Chris Sterling, are the best in KZW, the best tag team, the best singles competition wrestlers, all around fantastic. So that's 2 shows I have lined up this weekend for me, Everett Lee, and hopefully everybody can make it out to them. Like I said, tomorrow night, Rocky Top, Tennessee, bell time at 7. Saturday night, Shopville, Kentucky, bell time at 7:30. I hope you guys can come out to see the Chris Rose, baby.
Excellent. Excellent. I love it. I love it. I want to thank you for coming on, as always, here on the Slammin' Thursday edition of the Everett Lee Show. And you can follow more of the Everett Lee Show over on Podcast City Network, your top source for independent podcasting. Follow them over on their website, podcastcity.net. Hit them up on Facebook, Podcast City Network, and over on Twitter at Podcast City Net. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to watch video podcast on podcastcity.net over on YouTube, and follow them on Twitter at podcastcitynet. And subscribe to the audio portion of the Everett Lee Show over on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and podbeam.com/the Everett Lee Show. Or actually, everettleeshow.podbeam.com. Right there. Kind of messed up my social a little bit because you can follow Everett Lee over on Facebook.com/the Everett Lee. Send me a tweet over on Twitter at the Everett_Lee. Hit me up on Instagram and over on YouTube channel, Everett Lee Show. And the Chris Rose, I think that's it for this week. What do you think?
Hey, man, I've had a fun time this week, and, I'm looking forward to my shows I will be on, but I am looking forward to next week when we're back here at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Slammin' Thursdays with you, buddy. I hope you have a good weekend, Everett, and I hope everybody out there has a good one as well. But it will be even better if you come on out and see the Chris Rose this weekend.
Exactly.
It's going to be a good one. Going to be a good weekend.
Exactly. Go out and see Chris Rose and support him in everything that he does, because without your support, Chris Rose would be Chris Rose. I'm trying to make something, man. But Chris Rose.
We're all getting tired. We've been long tonight. We're almost 3 hours into this bad boy.
I know, man.
And I get it, yeah. Chris Rose needs the followers. He needs the people.
Yes.
But you know what? Me and Chris Sterling right now, the Chris Coalition, we got the followers. We have everybody's attention, and I do too. I've had people's attention for the past 2 years. The Chris Rose is a rising star. Chris Sterling, classic Chris Sterling, is a rising star. We're going to take over the wrestling industry as a whole. We're awesome, man. And AEW 2020, me and Chris Sterling's going to take over that company and be the best. And in my opinion, if you ask me, Cousin Frank better watch his back, because I'm coming for that championship if it comes down to it. Because me and Chris Sterling deserve all the gold, and we will get it.
Yes.
But if you want to find that out, everybody, come on out to the KZW shows and see for yourself.
Exactly. Thank you, Chris Rose, and thank you, everyone, for tuning in and listening to the Everett Lee Show this week. I will see you on Tuesday with my guest interview. Nicholas Vick, owner of Knockout Wrestling, will be joining me on the podcast for a one-on-one interview. Thank you, and be sure to tune in next week for another episode of the Everett Lee Show. Peace.